Hey everyone, this is Paul Carl. I'm doing another website review for another member of Syracuse Business Connections, Zelvin Security. They actually just gave everyone some of these cool things. They're like the little sliders that you can attach to your laptop to cover the camera. It's super cool. I didn't know they made these like branded. I'm going to do some for myself or something. I got one on my computer right now. This is for my other laptop. But right now I'm going to do a little review of their website. And the first thing, I'll go ahead and refresh it here. It loads super fast, which is really cool. So naturally I go to Pingdom and take a look at it. And the first thing that shocked me was, well, it loads super fast as a WordPress site. And the other thing that kind of caught me off guard was this 14 megabytes page size. And that made me wonder what the hell is doing that. So look, I saw it was an image. So I scroll down here and I can kind of see what's loading. These are all the requests, which this is all really good, super fast. But this image here is 14 megabytes in size. And I found it here. It's the background to this testimonial thing. One thing I would do, I can't even imagine that your site is so fast. It would probably be like 200 milliseconds or something absurdly fast for a WordPress site. If you took this image, this is the actual image here, and it's super high res. If you just kind of cropped it down to that proper size for this background here and maybe highlighted the part that you wanted to show, that would speed up the site tremendously, because your site is like, what? This image alone, your site's like 0.1 megabytes in size. It's that image that eats everything up. So I'd recommend replacing this with a cropped down version. Other than that, I don't want to talk too much about the design stuff. I do like the navigation, but I feel like this design is a little too dated and it would be better with one of the more modern designs. And I do think that this is charming personally, but that's because I used to go to B-Sides Rock in Rochester, a little hacker convention, and I met all these geniuses and saw all these workshops and whatnot. And when I went and looked at all their websites, they were all very similar to this, like super basic and a little dated. So from my personal perspective, I see this and I look at the load speed. I'm like, man, these guys know what they're doing. But I don't think that your target market will have those same biases. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I think that a more modern design would work better, like a different theme or something. And I think that for your theme, you should try to have some kind of banner up here that is more specific and has a specific call to action. Because one of the things that's lacking on here is there are some places where you say contact us, like down here, and let's connect, but it doesn't say why we should connect or what's going to happen when we connect. I think making a specific offer like call now for a free consultation, or whatever it is that you offer or whatever it is that you do when somebody calls you, I would be explicit about it and make that call to action very clear. I think that with the blue in your logo and kind of the blue in the images that you use, using an orange call to action would make things really stand out. And I was also thinking about like headlines, like what would you put up here or in a different design splash page to inspire someone to take action. And I was thinking maybe if you use some statistics like X amount of businesses are bankrupt every year because of cyber attacks, or the average cyber attack causes, X $100,000 worth of damage or something like that, to really like specify the pain point. And that way you might be able to inspire action a little bit easier. I did look up your WordPress theme. Looks like you're doing something custom and you only have a few plugins, which is really good. I wanted to show you, this is a friend of mine. He has this is his site for his cybersecurity business. Sorry about that, I was just coughing my lungs up. I like this design because it's a much more modern look. His site is still pretty fast too. The thing that I like about this is this is where you could put that, like X number of businesses are bankrupt by cyber attacks, call now for your free consultation, like secure your site or whatever it is, some kind of marketing lingo there that's specific to your clients and speaks to their needs. And I would actually make this button orange too, just because they have so much blue and green. Orange would make this really stick out here too. But I like this layout, and I'm going to kind of walk you through why. So down here, they first you have a call to action, and a statement of what you do. Then you want to go and show, all right, that's what we do. Here's how we do it. Here are our individual services that we can offer. And this is, you could maybe have a grid of like 8 or more, because I know you have a lot of drop downs here, which is awesome. Having a page dedicated to each type of service is really good for search engine optimization, especially like network penetration testing. This is a super competitive keyword, and having a page dedicated to it really helps with trying to get it to rank. The next thing, this is another thing. I'm always talking about competitive advantages, the things that make your company different or better. And this is kind of their take on what their competitive advantages are, so they can point out why people would choose them over a different cybersecurity company. I think that's something that you guys could articulate and dedicate a section on your site to, just to differentiate yourself. One thing that they are missing, I would say, is testimonials. I think having your actual customers leaving reviews for you that you can then pull to put in your site and showcase testimonials, that's another trust building factor. And they also have these tools, which are really cool. So they have like some free tools. I don't know if they developed them. I think he probably developed them. Jamie's good like that. But you can use those as another way to establish trust and credibility, expertise, and all that. And then what I would also add down here is like another call to action, another contact us type thing. But then that way you have that modern design, a nice clean layout with a very clear flow, and you're telling your customer exactly what you want them to do. So if the goal is to get that phone call, you want to constantly have call to actions for people to call. Like I would have this be a call button. And I don't mean to focus on their site so much, but I really do think that having that more modern looking website will establish a lot more credibility, especially when you're dealing with like huge customers who like a big hospital. They have tons of money, and if they saw this site versus like my buddy's site here, I don't know what how they react to this kind of stuff, but my gut instinct would be that they would probably lean more towards a site that looks like this when they're doing the research. So a new theme is the biggest recommendation that I have. But that aside, I think you guys have done a great job with the content, because you have a lot of words. I haven't read any of it, to be honest. But having all this content is a huge advantage for you, because for search engine optimization, that gives nerds like me something to work with, so that we can try to get you bumped up higher in the rankings, especially such a competitive niche. So I think you guys really nailed it on these drop downs. I might add services, like ethical hacking services, just to be a little bit more specific for people. I do like this industries page too, because that's another thing. I'm kind of familiar with the security keywords, and I know that healthcare security is one a lot of people will search by their industry. So one recommendation I would have is, in the same way that you have this drop down under ethical hacking, I would maybe consider having a drop down under industries and putting healthcare in their own category, and the financial institutions in their other ones. And then, because I guess you got to have like your HIPAA compliance, your PCI compliance, all that fun stuff. You can talk about that a little bit in the industries where it's important to put it. And then also have links to that services page specifically too, could be really cool. That might also be another kind of page to create, is your PCI compliance, your HIPAA compliance. I imagine, especially if you're working with a lot of healthcare companies, that's something they might be looking for information on when they're researching people. And if they're on your site and they're looking and they don't see anything about PCI or HIPAA, that might make them go somewhere else rather than sticking to you or calling you. Cool. I haven't looked at the resources yet, so we'll kind of do this in real time here. Oh, cool. So you do have a schedule consultation button here. What's this do? Oh, it says a contact. Let's see. Some of these resources, like this workshop thing and this proactive security, these events, I just realized, it's 2019, this should probably be updated. But I'm thinking these could be really good things to have. Like if you're doing a lot of events, maybe create an events page and showcase what you're doing at the different events. If it's filmed, you could maybe put the YouTube embed in there for once that event has passed and people can kind of look back and see. Or maybe even just do a blog and have an events category on your blog. Another thing that my buddy here does really well. Oh, I ran my domain through one of his tools. But his blog has a lot of interesting content that they're putting up pretty regularly. So that might be something to consider if like content marketing or SEO is going to be part of your strategy for generating leads. I know that that's something that he's working on. But overall, I hope that this was valuable. As much as I like to nitpick on little design elements doing conversion rate optimization, I really think that your site should use a new theme, a more modern theme, and really focus on that homepage optimization.